Thank you, Mark. I want to thank the governor and everybody on this panel with me. We've all worked collaboratively. I've had the honor and the pleasure to work with each and every one of them on things that matter to Rhode Island. So I will say that you have a government that is very functional and working as hard as it can on your behalf. I just met with the Secretary of State yesterday. I met with the Treasurer, the General Treasurer, shortly before that. And I mean, they have wonderful ideas, ambitious ideas for the session. I've worked with the Lieutenant Governor, the Senate, Dan DePont. We're sharing ideas up here, and we're pretty much on the same page. And you know, the governor has been very dynamic and hardworking in moving our state forward. So I feel fortunate to have great partners in government and great colleagues in the House. I'm going to mention some of them that are here in a few minutes, but we have dedicated public servants that are all working together. On behalf of the House, I want to thank the SBA for putting on another informative economic summit. And I want to thank President Akeley and Bryant University. The first time I've been in this great facility, and I can see how it was ranked #1 in the nation, and it's welcoming, it's bright, and it's a place where innovation is going to happen. So thank you for having the foresight to put something like this together. And every time I come to Bryant, they're doing something new and something different, something better. And that's what innovation and growth and moving forward is all about. And you guys here seem to get it, and you really get it well. So congratulations, and we look forward to the great things that are going to continue to happen at Bryant and throughout the state. I want to thank Mark Hayward and all of the members of the SBA committees for your continued hard work and advocacy on behalf of small business. Every year something comes out of this economic summit that, or many things come out of this economic summit that we try to effectuate through policy, through the legislative process. Lynn Urbani, my policy director, is here, and I'm sure she's taking notes and working hard. And through the rest of the session, the work product that comes from this economic summit will be things that we continue to refer back to, and we'll continue to reach out to folks and collaborate and work together and reach the conclusions that we need to reach to effectuate public policy to serve all of you, all of us, the state. And when I say all of us, I mean the state of Rhode Island and all of its needs. In the House, we are focused on turning our recovery into a resurgence. We're eager to get to work, and I can assure you that all of the representatives of the House share that mission. I want to recognize at this time some of my House colleagues that are here today. First, Representative Deb Ruggiero, Chairman Ruggiero. She is the chairwoman of the Small Business Committee, and she's going to be the House's liaison to the small business community. Utilize her as a resource. Communicate with her so that we can have a communication that serves your needs, serves the House's needs, serves the state's needs. So I'm looking forward to great things from Chairwoman Ruggiero. Thank you. Thank you, Deb. Joseph, Representative Chairman McNamara, Joe McNamara, he's here. I mean, he's just a great friend to all, hardworking, and a great colleague in the House that moves the state's agenda forward. Representative Evan Shanley, welcome today. Evan is a freshman, and I've had a lot of great conversations with him, and he's going to be a true asset to the House and the state. So, you know, thank you for your willingness to serve, Evan, and we look forward to great things coming from you in our collaboration. Same thing with Representative Susan Donovan, new freshman. Look forward to wonderful things from her. You've come forward with an education background and workforce development education issues that are critical today. So we're looking forward to that collaboration to make our state and our education system and our economy better. Representative Alex Maroslawski, great friend. He's going to be a great representative, great advocate for the business community. He's a small business owner, a farmer, and I believe he understands the issues, and he's anxious to roll up his sleeves. Representative Robert Phillips from Woonsocket. He comes from the business community. He has a business perspective, and his input is always invaluable. And he's usually at this economic summit, so thank you for your business interest and your collaboration, Bob. Representative Grace Diaz, she's hardworking. Everybody knows how highly I think of Representative Diaz. She's just wonderful, and she brings a lot of different perspective. She's someone that, quite frankly, educates me on a lot of issues and gives me different perspectives. So Grace, wherever you are, thank you for your input and your help and your collaboration and your leadership. Representative Robert Lancia, he also brings a great business perspective, and he's always there to collaborate and to serve. And he's from a city which I love dearly, Cranston. So thank you for your great advocacy on behalf of Cranston and the business community, and other issues also, Representative Lancia. Representative John Philippe Barros, he's a leader. Thank you for your friendship, collaboration, and everything you do for the House and the state. Anybody that knows Representative Barros knows that he's a leader, and he always makes our final product better. Representative Solomon, he's another leader. Thank you, Joe, for your friendship, your collaboration, your hard work on behalf of citizens. Representative Solomon is constantly in my office with great ideas, so the product that we put out has a lot of his input in it, and the input of everybody that I've mentioned that have been there, and with the freshmen, we're expecting that same input. And Representative Camille Villa-Wilkinson from the great city of Warwick. Representative Villa-Wilkinson, she brings a municipal perspective. She is very practical in how she sees things and analyzes things. I look forward to working with you. You're going to bring a perspective that the House and the state really needs. I'm going to give a quick shout out to a great friend, former Representative Mary Ann Chillicross-Smith. We miss you in the House, but you continue to do good things on behalf of the business community. She's just wonderful, and she always brought a great business perspective. And although we do miss her, Representative O'Grady from the same community is wonderful, and also brings a wonderful perspective. We have a lot of talent in the House, as we do in government. So we collaboratively, and I just want to point out, if you notice, a lot of the individuals I mentioned, they're freshmen. So you've got a lot of eager new people that want to roll up their sleeves and start working on behalf of the small business community and the state of Rhode Island. And I'm not going to go through the entire list because Cap Willie, who, by the way, I think is wonderful, your input on tax issues and business issues, and he's one of my go-to people for help and assistance in effectuating policy. Thank you for your service, Cap. But he and the governor went through a lot of the things that we've accomplished. And I was sitting here talking with Chairman DuPont, saying the list is pretty good. It's long, and those are things that we've accomplished in just 2.5 years. We've cut taxes, and during the recent campaign, I went to my fiscal staff and said, how much did we cut? In today's dollars, $75 million that we've actually cut. So we've been listening. We've been making our economy much, much more competitive than it has been. And the House's position has been pretty consistent. We're not going to be outliers on issues. We're going to be competitive with other states. one thing that you have to do is you can't divide communities on issues. You have to look at how can we be competitive with our neighboring states. Because whatever you think the policy should be, whatever you think is equitable and fair, if the other state is doing it differently, folks are going to migrate to the state that's doing it differently. And that's just a reality that nobody in Rhode Island can affect one way or another. So you have to be competitive in those states so that your state doesn't lose out, even if you think that you may have a better policy. Where does that become relevant? Well, one of the things that I heard Cap Willie talk about was the estate tax exemption. We're one of 14 states that still has an estate tax, and of the 14, we're probably the fourth highest. So we're an outlier. And what I hear from the business community is that people that are successful are leaving with their successful businesses when they get older. Is that fair? Is that right? Maybe, maybe not. But it's a reality that you have to live with. So even though some folks would say you don't give tax cuts to millionaires and billionaires, certainly want to keep your billionaires in Rhode Island if you have any. Certainly want to keep your millionaires and your successful people here. So rather than pushing them out, my suggestion would be that we take the recommendation of this economic summit through Cap Willie, and we take a look at them. We work together. We don't divide up our community and say, well, some people are not going to want to give an incentive to millionaires. Rather, we say, how are other states doing it, and can we do it better so that we at least compete with those states and we keep the folks here? I've looked at different communities, different economic interests, and always try to serve each and every one, because you want to make each and every one successful in Rhode Island, whatever that interest is. We want to help everybody. You want to keep everybody here. You certainly want to keep successful folks in the state of Rhode Island. The other thing we have to do, and we addressed infrastructure last year. It was controversial, but we addressed infrastructure, so that's not going to be an area that we're an outlier in. That's not going to be an area where we continue to be the worst in the country. That's being worked on, and we're improving, and that's good and important for our business community in the state of Rhode Island. We heard today, and I've been hearing, that another area we're an outlier is our taxes, our property taxes, municipal taxes. Now, what I hear from financial experts, if you have two mortgages, one very big and one small, get rid of the small one, so you only have to deal with the one. In Rhode Island, we're unique. We have one of the highest car taxes in the country. As I was campaigning and as I talked to my colleagues, everybody's frustrated with it, everybody's angry. Phase-out was tried years ago. The phase-out was phased out because of the economic recession. I believe that our economy is on a much sounder foundation right now because of the list of all the changes that we've been making. And we're moving in the right direction. As we try to take care of each and every segment in our economy and society, let's not lose sight of the fact that there's an everybody out there. Everybody pays a car tax. It's a $215 million item. It's big, but we can do what we've tried to do in the past unsuccessfully, and we can give relief to each and every citizen in the state, and we can help our national ratings, put more money into our local economies, and improve our quality of life. And do it like every other state does it. We should not be the highest in any area. Our property taxes, real estate, are also very high. But you can't, the big mortgage and the little mortgage, you can attack the little mortgage and pay it off quickly. The big one, that's going to take you 30 years. So what I'm suggesting is let's make an impact on our economy, on our national ratings, help every one of you, every citizen in the state practically, get rid of the regressive tax. Now, there's going to be 100 of fairness issues brought up and a lot of reasons why you don't do things. I have always been of the belief Impactful things are difficult to do. You could always find reasons to say not to. It's not fair to this group, it's not fair to that group. Everything we do is disproportionate in some way. Impacts people differently. Everything we do. So if that's going to be the standard, we all might as well just go home. Because we can't do things that impact everybody the same exact way. But we can help everybody, and we can help our economy, and we can help our national ratings if we recognize the horse is out of the barn on fairness on car tax. It's just out of the barn. We messed up the system years ago, not us personally, but the state. We don't do it like Massachusetts does. We should have. People should have made the right decisions years ago, but they didn't. So I'm proposing, and I've indicated that our budget is going to have car tax relief, and I'm proposing, let's look beyond the problems with doing it. Let's be impactful. Let's think big. Let's put our citizens first. Let's get rid of that regressive tax. Let's listen to the voters of Rhode Island and nationally. They said, make sure the government works for the folks and not the other way around. People want practical solutions to hard problems. People want to make sure we do things. We're going to eliminate the car tax because it's the right thing to do. And we're going to continue to invest in workforce development, innovation, and moving our economy forward. Because government is going to serve the people, serve the small business community, and we're going to work together and collaboratively to serve ourselves and to improve ourselves and to make us better. You can't be a resilient, strong, happy community if the citizens are angry. You just can't. Rhode Islanders, I believe, are too angry, and this is one of the things that makes them angry. And when I say too angry, we're too angry relative to other states. Not that the citizen is not correct in being frustrated. I believe the citizen is correct in being frustrated because we're outliers. If it's more expensive to live here, and if you're paying more tax in Rhode Island than you're paying in other states, the citizen should be frustrated. That's not where the fault is. The fault is in the government that is charging a disproportionately high amount to live here and move around here. So we're going to be fair to everybody. We're going to do things competitively in the state of Rhode Island, and we're going to address that. Now, relative to the fairness issues, as I've said, the horse is out of the barn, but I'm willing and looking forward to talking to each and every person in this room for great ideas. But collaboratively, we're going to get this done, and our government, we are going to serve you all. Relative to a lot of the other ideas, I've listened. I think they were all wonderful ideas. I thank you for all of your input. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them. I concentrated on my priority and the things that I've been looking at. The other thing that I made note of, because it's a contemporary issue, is energy. I think that's an issue that, quite frankly, sometimes we get polarized on. People get into their own silos. I try to take a practical viewpoint on that. I've supported every green initiative that's come along. Renewable energy is something that we have to really push hard on and develop and move forward with. That's vital to our future. But until we're ready for renewables to support our economy, you also have to take care of folks' needs today. So we're still relying upon natural gas and carbon-based fuels. So I agree with the recommendations at this economic summit, and we have to make sure we take care of our citizens' needs. So we have to be prepared to support energy sources that are going to be essential to take care of the needs of our citizens today, while continuing the development of the renewable energies for the future. So we have to be balanced. Everything you do, everything we do, I think we have to be balanced, and I try to do that. So as we collaborate on our energy needs in the future, that's the perspective that I come from, and I would love everybody's input, because That's an important issue. The last thing that I'm going to address is the regulations. I hear from businesses everywhere. That's I think, the number one complaint. Other than the car tax, that's the number one complaint I get. And a lot of it happens at the municipal level, but not all at the municipal level. Government has to start looking at things from a perspective of finding a way to say yes as quickly as possible. And I agree with Gary, it's hard work, very hard work, so I'm not going to be critical of any efforts that don't produce the results that they should produce. But the Office of Regulatory Reform, at a chamber luncheon, I one time made a comment that got a little attention that I was thinking of defunding it because they weren't coming up with a lot of regulatory changes to improve the economy. And my goal wasn't to defund it, my goal was to encourage quicker removal of burdensome regulations. And I'm not seeing, I share the view that was expressed that there's not a lot coming out of that. So I think we have to double down. It's hard work, and I'm not being critical because I may not want to do that work myself, but it's hard work. So we have to continue to collaborate relative to that and remove barriers for businesses. I thought the dashboard was just great so that the public can see it and just keep people focused on what they should be doing to serve all of the citizens of the state. And, you know, thank you. We'll continue to collaborate, the House of Representatives and all of my colleagues. We look forward to working with each and every one of you. So thanks for a wonderful summer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.